Welcome to the Ostomy Body Positive Confidence Chronicles, where we highlight inspiring ostomy journeys through education, relatable stories, and expert insights. We also feature companies, products, and professionals improving ostomy care. Please like, share, subscribe, and or join our movement. The Facebook group link is in the description below. Sometimes I like to do a dance just so like I keep people entertained. And I know I'm not entertaining, but like I pretend to be. Okay, we're live. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming back to Ostomy Body Positive and watching our interview with an ostomate series. So I was super excited because I saw Jordan's post about her PC bodybuilding, and I felt really connected to it because my sister also did those competitions and had to train for that. And I know that it's a vigorous kind um of a sport. And so I was really excited when I saw that you have an ostomy bag because I've went to quite a few of hers out of the state, and it was super just cool to see. But being a woman and on top of it, but then also having an ostomy just shows so much resilience and a lot of inspiration to people. I think you can be a lot of inspiration to so many people that are on this Facebook right now. So, yeah, would you start off by introducing yourself and telling us about hobbies and what you do and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so my name is Jordan Olick. I'm from Wisconsin. Um, about, I would say about a year ago is when things got really bad for me health-wise, and it was a life of constipation that became just way too much to handle. I ended up having to quit my job working with kids with autism because I couldn't get like up and down like I used to be able to. I just couldn't move like I used to be able to. And then I just couldn't really find a job that like fulfilled me mentally and like also like I was physically able to do in the process of trying to find doctors to be able to figure out what was really going on after being told it was just constipation and IBS. And so I ended up finding a doctor and getting a surgery scheduled within a month of like getting the test done when I found out my colon did not function. And so I had my surgery about 8 months ago. Prior to having my surgery, I was really big into the gym, really big into nutrition. I had competed in 3 bodybuilding shows. And when I found out that I was going to have a permanent ileostomy bag, I thought that it was over.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say I think it was like 3 weeks before my surgery, I ended up like going to Goodwill and just like giving a ton of my gym stuff away. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be back in the gym. Like, this is done. Like, it's fine. And I actually am in a relationship with a guy who's a bodybuilder too.
Hmm.
And I remember having a lot of resentment towards him of like, you're gonna be able to
Yeah.
live this life that I want. And like how would it make you feel, and like then like just being like I could never even be like at a show with you, like I'm mad, like I don't want to see any of it. And then luckily he stuck by my side because the best was yet to come. So
That's love. I love that. That's love. So do you have a colostomy then, or do you have an ileostomy?
I have an ileostomy. My entire colon was removed.
Okay. 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 And so now you've had it 8 months, you said.
Yeah, I had my surgery on September 11th.
Wow, that is amazing. Like, I can't imagine that you've already back to doing what you like. That's inspiration for me too, because like I recently have like this broken pelvis and now a knee issue from an accident. And I just like I wasn't as hard in the gym as you are, but I just can't wait to get back into because I get it. It's a mental thing as well, you know? Can you share a moment when your ostomy helped you regain confidence in doing something that you loved?
Yeah, so I would say definitely when I stepped on stage for the first time, it'll be 2 weeks ago this Saturday.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I think when I stepped on stage, it was a big moment of like, holy, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I just like I remember like getting ready and stuff and kind of just feeling like I was in a daze. Like I couldn't even really be present
Yeah.
because I was kind of more so like, okay, these are the things I need to do.
Yeah.
And like I just got to be ready. And I was so like worried about like, okay, how am I going to empty the bag? What if I have to empty the bag and I'm about to go on stage? And
Yeah.
because with I think being so close to surgery still, and then I also was in the hospital a week before that with a blockage.
Oh
So
no.
like my output was kind of on a schedule,
Yeah.
but then it wasn't because I had the obstruction and was still kind of coming back from that. So I was just very concerned on like how things were gonna go, what it was gonna be like. I'm in these high heels and like a
Mhm.
bikini and having to walk around to try to find a bathroom, but luckily, the first show I did was promoted by somebody who's my posing coach and someone I'm actually very close with.
Yeah.
So I had all the support in hand and knew like the steps I needed to take if I had to go to the bathroom. So that was very good too.
Good. Okay. Okay.
But
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
when I stepped on stage for that first time, I really was able to see that I was stronger inside and out than ever before.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of one of those moments of like, I remember the first time I went back to the gym. I actually went with my sister to Planet Fitness, which isn't a normal gym that I typically go to.
Yeah.
And I remember we like maybe were there for 3 minutes and I wanted to leave because I was so upset that I wasn't as strong as I was. And I remember like my whole like prep being upset that like I still don't have the strength I had prior to surgery.
Yeah.
And there's certain exercises I probably just should never do as heavy, because of hernias and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But I think in that moment, it was like, it doesn't matter what I'm lifting in the gym. It doesn't matter, if I can lift a box or not. Like, I
Yeah.
am strong for just being here.
Yeah.
And I think that that was a very, like, personally empowering moment.
Yes, it's the mindset behind it is I may not be able to do everything now, but if I start here somewhere, I will get up to that where I want to be. And
Yeah.
that's so cool that you like your ostomy bag is, you know, out there. Like that's so cool because that is like the ultimate like advocacy moment, I think, is
Yeah.
people just aren't expecting a beautiful woman, but at that in shape and up there doing the bodybuilding, showcasing something that they just would expect wouldn't exist for someone like us. Because even you didn't think that you were gonna ever be able to do it again, and you did. And so that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest challenging then to adjusting with life with an ostomy and how
I
have you
think I
overcome
would
it?
say, like, it's kind of broad because it covers a couple of different things, but like really learning to trust my body again.
Mhm.
When it comes to food, when it comes to being active, when it comes to working with kids again, because now I do that again,
Yeah.
like being able to be like, like it's okay. Like I think at first I was like, if it even like, like touched something, it was gonna like something bad was gonna happen. Or
Yeah.
being active and like I remember the first couple times I got on like a cardio equipment because that was the first type of exercise I was cleared to do pretty shortly after surgery.
Mhm.
And feeling like if I felt like there was, whether it was gas or output or whatever, like feeling like I had to get off the treadmill.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like that's gonna happen like throughout the day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it's okay. And not constantly worrying about leaks or the bag filling up,
Right.
not and then eating too, because of constipation for so long and everything. I was so scared to like, they say like don't have too much fiber, but have enough
Yes.
fiber. So then I'm like, okay, I just shouldn't have any. And then it's
Yeah.
like, well, no.
Yeah.
And like so like learning like constipation can still be a thing sometimes.
Yeah.
And like having constipation once in a while
Hmm. Hmm.
doesn't mean that I'm going to fall back to not going to the bathroom
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a long time. And
I
like bloating and all that kind of stuff. Like relearning what is normal. Like if you eat, like yeah, your stomach might be a little distended after that. And it
sure.
doesn't mean you're like going back to being bloated all the time like
Yeah.
you're constipated.
Okay. That's interesting because I dealt with the same thing. Like I have Crohn's, but I also dealt with like severe constipation. And people don't expect that when you have, they don't under, like people think, oh, you just go all the time. No, sometimes it's just quite opposite and just as painful, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. How has your self-image changed since having an ostomy? I don't know that that fits or not for you because I feel like it doesn't, but I'm sure there was some moments of it, right?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I can say with my self-image, I've gotten way better at this, and it only comes up sometimes, but is feeling like I'm a medical problem at all times.
Mm,
And feeling like when people see me, they are just like, she's sick, or like, she probably spends a lot of time in the hospital. She probably takes a lot of pills.
yeah,
Like, she has this like medical like
yeah,
thing
yeah,
all the time that I can't like escape from. And I think the other thing is when, like, a lot of times I'll have leggings on and you can see, like, just like the little top of the pouch. And I feel like people are like, oh, it's probably, maybe they just think it's a band-aid.
yeah,
But then I feel like it's like they don't realize it's permanent and like
yeah,
it's not temporary. And like
yeah,
I just feel like it's a very hard thing because it's like, yeah, it's nice if they think it's just a band-aid and then I don't have to explain
yeah,
myself.
yeah,
But then, like, if you see the same people in the gym all the time,
right.
you always have this Band-Aid on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think it just is that whole like medical, like I've never, had like being constipated was something, you didn't talk about. Like I didn't
yeah.
tell people, oh, I'm constipated. So when I had
Right?
the surgery, people
Yeah,
were like, wait, what's going on?
yeah,
Because I didn't have like something forever. And so I think that's definitely a thing. And I think when it becomes a medical thing, that
hmm
you're talking about something you typically don't really talk about, like
right,
constipation, going to the bathroom,
right.
having an ostomy bag, and stuff like that.
It's like invisible. I wrote about this in my newsletter this month. It's an invisible disease. Like people don't understand it. So then now that you have this thing, they're like, well, what do you mean? Where all of a sudden? I didn't know that there was even an issue. Well, yeah, you didn't see me in the bathroom laying on the floor crying, because
Yeah.
luckily you didn't. Um, what is a misconception about living with an ostomy that you wish more people understood?
Um, this one's kind of tricky because I
Yeah.
feel like part of me is like when you get the question of like, won't you know when it's coming?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, like still like I know it's just people don't know, but like I think the reason it bothers me so much is because that's something that bothers me still about the ostomy, that like you just don't know.
Yeah.
And you could like it was like yesterday I like emptied it and then I got in my car and then I drove 5 minutes and I had to empty it again. And I was
Yeah.
like, I
Right.
wish that I timed that better, but like you really
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something. And then I think something I'm realizing more so is that not everybody wants to get rid of it once they have it.
Sure.
Because I was told I likely will never be able to get a reversal because of my pelvic floor functioning.
Okay.
And the more that I live with it, and the more that I read on the horror stories of a reversal,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to go through another surgery like that. And I think people will, when they see the bag and like realize like the challenges that come with it, they're like, well, why wouldn't you just want to get rid of it? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, I'm scared if I got rid of it that I'd have either the opposite problem or who
Right.
knows what would happen.
Right.
And I think that's a huge thing of like some people are going to accept it and
Yeah.
be okay with it
Yeah.
and be able to have the mindset of like it did save my life, but
Mm-hmm.
yet I still might have days or moments that I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah. 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 It's part of life now. And if it makes your life better, like I'll keep why would we not want to keep it, at that point? That's how I feel too. I could reverse mine if I wanted to. I don't think I want to. And you're right. Those stories about the reversals, I just I can't understand, why um we're not being educated about it or why there's so much we're not being told about it ahead of time. Like, by the way, here's what can happen if you do decide to get a reversal. Because I didn't even know about till I started this group and I'm hearing all these stories. And so, yeah, I mean, and if it's working for us, why would we not want to keep it? Because,
Yeah.
it makes life better.
Yeah, and I think for me too, like the one thing that like about like life now, but like it's not even life with an ostomy, but like the food restrictions, but like a lot of my food restrictions
Hmm.
aren't necessarily because of an ostomy. Like I
Yeah.
can't have dairy, but I
Yeah.
couldn't have dairy before. I
Right.
can't have gluten, but I couldn't have gluten. So it's not like
Right.
having the reversal would like allow me to have some of the
Right.
things I want.
Right.
And like the ostomy food restrictions, like I'm sure like as time goes on, I'll find my ways, find what works for me. And like I said, learn to trust my body again and try things that might work because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the food stuff, you hear one person say I can't have carrots and you hear another person
Yeah.
say they eat carrots all the time.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, that makes so much sense. So, what's a piece of advice or a tip that has made managing your ostomy easier on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I have one that's like kind of like a tip for managing it, and then I have
Yeah.
more of like a heartfelt like
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tell us it all. We want to hear it.
okay. So the first one is thank you to my GI doctor who also has a bag that told me about this when I was in the hospital, but getting a bidet for your toilet.
Mm.
So I did not like that I could not get it completely emptied all the time, and it just bothered me. It
Yeah.
mentally made me feel like it wasn't complete and like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I got one of those spray bidets attached to my toilet,
Hmm.
and I just spray it in there and then empty it, and then it's
Nice.
all like good as
Yeah.
new. And like I think
Yeah.
that that helps me a lot,
Yeah.
as well as a doc or a nurse in the hospital gave me those personal bidets like women usually use postpartum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
The
so
squeeze.
I
Mhm.
keep two of those in my bag when I'm on the go,
Nice.
and then I can use it like that. And I think for
Ah.
me, it just mentally feels like it's clean, it's better, and I think like it just
Yeah.
works.
I got to write that down. So no, I mean, I don't need that, but other people will. I've never heard anyone say that. So yeah, that's genius.
And it might make the process a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
I personally feel it's worth it.
I get it. You want it. Sometimes it's just like having a bag that still has contents in it, like feels sometimes dirty still. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't mean we smell or anything, but it's just the idea that it's there. So yeah,
Yeah.
that makes total sense.
But there are
Um,
definitely times which this has come a long way, but there's
yeah,
definitely times like now that if I'm in a pinch, like, and I just gotta run in really quick because I'm gonna be late somewhere,
yeah,
like that, I can manage being like, okay, I can just do it the next time.
right, right. Got it. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay. Um, okay, I didn't prepare you for this question. And I sometimes I ask the same one a few times. So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to ask it again. But if you could write a fortune cookie message about life with an ostomy, what would it say? I know
There
it.
will come a day that the good moments um become better than the bad moments.
That's a good one. I love it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I know I got you on that one, but I snuck it in. But yeah, that's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that that's a big thing because I think 8 months ago I could have never made some of the jokes I make
Yeah.
or said some of the things I say or
Yeah.
like been able to be like, this truly did save my life, and for that I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
I remember my parents and my boyfriend, my sister, friends being like, it saved your life. Like, this is amazing. And me being like, yeah, but look what I'm dealing with now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like not being able to see that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's amazing. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, this is so inspirational for so many people. Like
Thank you.
this is, yeah, I think. I mean, when I saw it, and by the way, your bag, I noticed your ostomy bag had like rhinestones and like really pretty. Like, how did you get that?
Yeah, so the lady that I ordered my suit from, she's
Okay.
local to me and I actually know her pretty well.
Hmm.
And so I reached out to her, like, I'm gonna order a suit. do you
Yeah.
think this is something you could do, like make a cover? And she's like, well,
Yeah.
do you have a cover that works? And I was like, yeah. And I have I've only been able to find one cover that feels comfortable on the bag
Okay.
since having surgery.
Hmm.
So I sent her that.
Yeah.
And then she just made it with the fabric that the suit is made out of and then
That's
rhinestoned
cool.
it.
That is like, I mean, you've got like a genius idea right there for you and her could go in on this. I mean, they could match swimsuits, you know,
Yeah.
like especially because she made your swimsuit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know
So it
that
was like
they're very
literally like if you put it up to like the top and the bottoms, it was
yeah.
the exact same.
That
And
is
then it was cool on stage because it was on my right side and my like left hip is like out.
yeah,
So it kind of looked like it was like supposed to be there,
yeah,
but people were asking like what is that? Because they obviously knew
yeah.
this wasn't typically that big.
Right.
But like I've been told by many people in Illinois and then after the Wisconsin show too, like people just thinking it was like a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, that is. Like I said, the ultimate like advocacy there to show people like one, you can do what you want to do. You can still go back and live your life. And then, and speaking of that, because you work out, so do you wear a hernia belt when you work out or
Actually, I don't
okay, yeah.
because I ordered a couple stealth belts
Hmm.
and I don't know. I
Yeah.
couldn't get them to work. I
Yeah.
couldn't get them on. They made the bag feel weird.
Yep.
So I just never wore it.
Yeah.
And then I always do wear, like if I'm gonna wear sweatpants, which I don't do often, but
Mhm.
I wear shorts. So there's some support, like a
Yep.
biker short.
Yep.
And then typically I'm just in leggings.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I no, I agree. And I wasn't lifting a lot, but I was doing some lifting and I never wore a hernia belt. I have a small hernia, but that's before my time of working out. So, and I've never had an issue either. So I think it's about but the people what people don't always understand with working out, it is about how you're doing the moves. You know, you have to have the right posture and the right kind of thing going when you get into it. So,
yeah, and that's why I would say definitely for like anybody like with an ostomy, if you're gonna start working out and like whether it's going back into it or whether it's trying it for the first time, like start light
yeah.
and be okay that there are certain things you should maybe just stick to doing light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for example, like a squat.
Okay.
Like
Right.
loading a ton of weight, like you might just get to a point that you like even if you know the form, you
Yeah.
and that's with or without having an
Yeah.
ostomy.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
that would just be like my biggest piece of advice. Like, don't try to push the
Sure.
weights.
Sure.
And there's definitely ways to work out without pushing a ton of weight
Yeah.
because that's me.
Yeah. Well, this was perfect. Thank you so much for being on. If you have yeah, if you'd like to come on in the future again, but please link like your Instagram and whatever wherever people can follow you because it's super important that we support you because yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an inspiration. So,
Thank you so much. I greatly
yeah.
appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
And just to everybody listening, remember just one day at a time.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.